Hello, this is TuffLove, and this video, kind of like the last video, marks a new series, this time called Time with Tuff, which I personally think is just a great name because it is a fantastic alliteration. Tough time, time tough. It just seems to work. And this is also kind of good because it just gives me a chance to talk with you guys. Maybe not. I hope I don't just complain about my life. I surely won't. But it also is good because it's hard to just talk about a topic for 10 minutes or so. So I'll try and do this more on longer videos, tell what's been going on in the last week or so. So shall we begin? A lot of football has taken over my life lately. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 4 hours a day is football, which 3 days, 4 hours, that's 12 hours a week. Could be making dough, but guess it's your passion. Which I don't know if it's really my passion, but if you're good in something, then it's always a good time to do it. Unfortunately, though, today I caught a pass and then I kind of tumbled, and as I tumbled, I rolled my shoulder pretty good. If you watched Sister's Abuse video, it was a LED6 on Dome. You can look through my past videos. I talked about how my sisters used to abuse me, and one of those abuse techniques was them, air quotes, accidentally pulling my arms out of the socket. So that used to happen, and after it happens for a while, what would you say? It's easier to happen. So I've been lucky lately, and there's the first knife. That happens 3 times this game. I get knifed. Back to the arm. Yeah, so after it gets pulled out once, it's more likely to get pulled out again, which I've been lucky the last few years because it hasn't happened, but fortunately, today seems the day, and that has happened. It's really bad, too. Like, I'm not going to go to the hospital or anything, but I can't really lift a plate. I took a nap after football today, and I couldn't lift my covers with my right arm after I woke up. And I don't get a ton of sympathy for it, which I'm not really seeking, but you don't get much of sympathy for it because it's not visible, and I don't know, you don't really sympathize with someone who has pain because you don't have the pain currently, and it's not a visual pain, so that also doesn't really give me the kudos I deserve. Just kidding. So football lately, and then pole vault will be starting next week. Some people say pole vault, or I've heard that it's the second hardest sport in the world, but I don't really know about that. People say the hardest sport is actually NASCAR, which kind of like my arm is hard to understand just because I've never done NASCAR personally. Believe it or not, a 15-year-old know NASCAR? Wow. But at the same time, I can't really picture it being the hardest sport in the world, but I can see how it's hard because the massive engine throbbing along your gullet, and it may not be the greatest thing. I don't know, I couldn't control the car. If you're moving 200 miles per hour, and then you have to make a left turn, wow! And then, of course, there are a whole bunch of other cars going by, which cause a lot of chaos. So, like I said, physical exercise has been dominating my life. And also, my grandma has a pool, so I'm always over there swimming, which it's actually pretty tiring after a little while. If you've never played Flinker, you should play it every time you're in a pool. That's all I do if I have any number of friends with me. One person jumps off the diving board, gets out of the water, and then you all have to jump in and grab the wood chip. So kind of your personal preference is the size of the wood chip. Medium size is, of course, perfect. It's perfectly medium size. I think there's the second knife. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the second one. So no Moab yet, but I promise it will come. Flinker. So, and then as you're jumping in, it's hard to grab, and you fight for it, and it's great, and make up your own rules from there. Eventually, it will be in the Olympics. Play at 200 or something ridiculous. Oh yeah, the person who gets the wood chip, then their team, or just them if you're playing FIFA, gets a point, and then he jumps in with it, and repeat. I'm pretty good at it, so I have won 1v5 before, not to toot my own horn. Actually, just to toot. Oh, there's the third one. That one was kind of earlier in the streak, though. I didn't actually earn the specialist bonus that time. So Flinker, it's amazing. Play it a lot. Good family fun. Crawling to life. Just try not to dunk too much. So my grandma has a pool. I've gone up there 3 times a day, or a few days ago I did that 3 times a day. But my aunt also has a pool, so we were over there for Father's Day, which was just last Sunday. Which my entire that side of my family, God, I can't get my words out. That entire side of my family lives within 1 mile or so of each other, so we see each other a lot. But all of my cousins are great on the diving board. Of course, a lot of them have pools, so that's part of it. They go up there, do their flips, and I go up there, do my dive, or just jump in, or something pretty lame. But then I did eventually learn how to flip. Hard work, dedication. Put yourself to it. You'll eventually do it. So, yes. In 1 day or so, I couldn't back dive. And then the next day, I learned how to back flip, front flip, back dive, of course. And then where you're running forward into a back dive, and then you're running forward into a back flip. So, say you're running forward, you lean your back head and go that. You lean your head back and you go that way. Feels great now. Be the thrill of the party. Learn how to backflip. Backflipping's actually really fun. I don't know. I feel like front flipping is a lot harder, but there's usually. Oh my God, I can't speak. 6 minutes in. All right, 4 more. The general consensus is that basically front flips are a lot easier, but I don't know. I learned how to back dive, and I was like, you know what? I can go a little farther. So then I did a backflip. It was as simple as that. Here in the game, I'm tearing it up with the MP9. If you don't use the MP9, then fuck you. Sorry, that was kind of aggressive. The MP9 is amazing. It is so good. Depending on the circumstance, but I almost always just throw on an MP9 with silencer. You pull it out pretty quick, you put it away quick, it kills quick, it doesn't recoil. On my channel also, there's a free-for-all Moab with it, which I just run around and kill 24 people in a row, and eventually get the Moab. And then on a video game, summer stuff that's going on, I have still been playing a lot of Call of Duty, which I'm trying to, well, not really trying to cut back, but I'm getting a little burnt out on it. Ooh, 25 Moabs, that's quite a few. But I'm getting kind of a little burnt out on COD, so I've been seeking other games, but recently, me and this one friend in particular have always been huge fans of Skyrim, which Fallout 3 has always been my top 3 games ever, till Skyrim came along. So he came over and he was talking about Skyrim, and I wanted to play Skyrim. So I put Skyrim in and was immediately addicted within, I don't think I've even played an hour yet since I've re-pulled it out, and I love it. During football day, I was like, shit, I want to play some Skyrim. And that's what got me through the core workout was, ooh, Skyrim later. Wow. It's kind of like offering a baby, infant child person, man-child, a little bit of ice cream, and then suddenly they're much more willing to do what you can decide. You can decide for yourself, you sick bastard, but that's okay. I don't judge. So swimming's been great. Now finally I don't get laughed at when I go do my dive, which I don't know as much I got laughed at back then, but you know, whatever. So Skyrim's been great. If you notice Dead Man's Hand there, it's kind of once overpowered, always overpowered. I don't hate it. I just hate the idea of it. It's so stupid. Of course, that's what everyone's been talking about. I try not to complain too much about Call of Duty, but honestly, but they did patch it. If you're on a specialist bonus, your blast shield will almost always defend you from it. It's just annoying. Kind of like, I don't really think the 74U is overpowered in Black Ops. Maybe with rapid fire, but if it's not, I don't think it's overpowered at all. I don't think the Striker's overpowered because it should be overpowered from 3 feet away, but from there, I have no problem killing people with Strikers. The ACR is overpowered. The MP7, I haven't used it for a while. It was overpowered. They may have patched it. FMGs are still a little overpowered, but they did a good job. It's not overpowered, okay? It's just a good gun. That's a lot of time that's true. People love to hate when they die, find some kind of scapegoat, but personally, I don't know. Like, I pull up the ACR if they are all using the ACR. If not, I'm using something trying to get to level 31. I probably have 6 or 7 guns at level 30 now. You know how the level to get to the highest level takes forever? Well, that's what 3031 is. I could kill myself. Thank you. This has been Tough Love. Bye-bye. Like the video.